Just a Super Bowl.
We're just talking about now, Jamie. Was that what you were talking about?
Winning games.
Yeah,
I'm talking about winning games. Jalen Hurts, wherever he's been, they win. I don't care if it was the 6th grade Pop Warner team.
Right.
I guarantee you they won every week.
Okay, but here's the other thing.
He's just wired like that.
That's fine.
And that's what sports is about.
Then, okay, that's fine, and he's a winner everywhere he goes, and that's fantastic. But Perloff also said that he's underrated.
I said underestimated.
If you win everywhere you go, from what did you say, Pop Warner, how are you underestimated? How is that possible?
Dak Prescott wins a bunch. All right, second in MVP 2 years ago. I got to put Hurts above him just because what he does when it's the most important.
Yeah. Not
when you're piling up stats or any of those other things. None of those things matter. What do you do when you get to the playoffs? Can you get to a spot when everybody knows what y'all want to do?
Right.
And can you still find a way to do it? And can you elevate your play at the most important moments? And I would argue that Hurts does that. And I'll go back at you because a guy that y'all want to put at the top of the list up in Buffalo never elevates his play at the most important times. In fact, like last year's AFC Championship game, whether it be the offensive coordinator or not, he tends to shrink from those moments, just like Dak Prescott.
He's got a much better playoff record than Dak Prescott, though, Jamie. I mean, you're talking about Josh Allen, obviously, has not been able to beat Patrick Mahomes and lost to Joe Burrow. I'll give you all of that. I'm not going to run from it. But you can't just say that Josh Allen plays poorly in the playoffs. That's just not true.
Nobody cares about third place, second place, fourth place, fifth place. The Super Bowl is the only thing that matters.
Okay, Jamie, was it Josh Allen's fault that they lost the 13 seconds game when he's not on the field?
Yes.
How? He doesn't play linebacker? I know he looks like he can, but... It's
funny because Jamie and I think would admit he kind of contradicted himself and said it's not all about the Super Bowl wins, but then he's saying it's about the Super Bowl wins. So, but I get it because that's it. You brought up a great point. Eli Manning's not better than Aaron Rodgers, but I do ask you a question.
Yeah.
If it's a big game, it's the fourth quarter, who do you want under center?
Well, but so I'm still going to go with Aaron Rodgers.
Probably shouldn't.
No, because here's the thing. Eli Manning, every other year that he didn't win a Super Bowl, didn't win a playoff game.
It's a big game, and it's the fourth quarter. Eli's under center. He's pretty good.
He's great in those moments. Man, he's looking at me like I'm crazy.
Because you kind of are. I mean, you're drinking out of your puke cup as well, but whatever.
This is not the puke cup. This is the green cup. The puke cup is navy. That's the cup I puked in one day when I was sick, and I put in the dishwasher, and I started using it again, and suddenly I'm living in a frat house.
Now you get bullied, yes.
All right. We'll leave it there, but you're welcome to weigh in at 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. You know Jalen Hurts gets a lot of respect when a Cowboy fan just called in to defend him. That's pretty good.
But the fact that I would put it a different way, the fact that a Cowboy fan has to call in to defend him shows how underestimated. I'm not going to say underrated. And I'm telling you, this guy, he's like a Tom Brady, chip against the shoulder. He's probably as an account of everyone who doubted him. This guy's been doubted. People didn't think he could throw the football in college. And now he's a two-time Super Bowl participant. I keep wanting to say two-time Super Bowl winner. Basically, he won the first one. He kind of won that first one. Can we just give him that?
He played great.
He played very well, except for that fumble six. Let's get to Bogan, who's got headlines for us.
Guys, not surprisingly, there are some major kinks to work out with college sports' new revenue sharing system. The biggest one might have been settled yesterday, with multiple outlets saying that lawyers and power brokers have agreed that NIL collectives will now be categorized as valid businesses by the NIL clearinghouse. Up until now, collectives were not approved forms of compensation because they did not provide any actual goods or services. They only existed to pay players. That's why many schools had taken their collectives in-house. Now they can return to existing on their own and handing out money to players.
This is ridiculous.
So this whole thing lasted 2 weeks, that you only have $20 million to spend, and now it's just poof, gone. Collectives are back. Pay your recruits. Pay them to show up at the car dealership. Yeah. All those, like,
you don't even have to show up at the car dealership.
Yeah, just whatever. Just hand out the money.
That lasted long. Yeah.
College football, man.
Yeah. You still technically have that, whatever it is, $20 million cap on straight from the school, but now you've got these guys, again, just able to add on to whatever you're getting.
I'll tell you who's rejoicing today. The basketball players.
Oh, right, because they were going to get frozen out of the revenue share.
Absolutely. If they were trying to actually keep this to $20 million and that's it, and you have to do this high threshold of a clearinghouse. Well, you still have to do the clearinghouse, but this super high threshold to make any money off of NIL. Basketball would have gotten totally screwed. Women's sports would have gotten totally screwed.
Except that basketball wouldn't, because they would just pay them anyway. Because everybody was immediately stated we're going to ignore these rules. And you know why they're ignoring those rules? Because not a single one of these would hold up in any court in America, because they're ridiculous. The NCAA still trying to claw back power was one of the biggest jokes. And the thing about women's sports, that's a little complicated though, because you know that schools are probably going to try and cut some sports. They're still using this excuse. I worry about spending on the lesser sports.
Absolutely.
Men's too.
For sure. I'm just glad also that, not only can everyone make money over the top, but that the women can for sure, because I think for some of them, the, NIL is
they're not getting collective money.
Extremely important for them.
Right.
I wish that was a little more even.
I got to be honest. I feel very complicated about that issue, because some of them, they're not selling athleticism though.
Well, we want to talk about that.
Is that a sports, like the fact that you can be on a varsity college team and sell bikini shots? Like that's what the system's supposed to be about?
Well, there's like a body positivity angle of that I think women would say, well, like this is my body. It can do triple back flips and can also look good in a bikini. Why shouldn't it be celebrated for both?
But then I just think that that's not how we view the men's sports. Like, oh my gosh, like Giancarlo Stanton looks great shirtless.
Welcome to the world where women are judged more on their looks than men. This is like, I could have told you that.
But also back in the day when the strictest rules applied, you couldn't do that.
No, it's better.
You couldn't. So to be able, you can't now pick and choose like what's good and what's bad. Like you used to be not to be able to do anything to make any money, whether it was connected to your sport or not. So now you take those things away, and all these things are fine.
But it goes back to a debate Maggie and I have had. And listen, you were at Sports Illustrated where the swimsuit issue made all the money.
Yep.
It felt like you pulled out your SI stock answer right there about body positivity.
It's about art, guys.
But and you're a big tennis fan, when they tried to make Anna Kournikova and Maria Sharapova a thing.
They didn't try. They were things. They did. And that was not because of women.
So I just think we have to.
That was because of men.
Well, and Sharapova was good, too. That helped a lot.
That's true.
She was good.
She did help.
But they tried to make her more than she was, I would argue.
She was the highest grossing in terms of advertisements. Maria Sharapova made more money than Serena Williams, who was winning at 20 times the clip.
Yeah, anyway, collectives are have no issue. But I have another college issue, and I've said this before. Why should the USC football players be going out there and getting concussions and raising all this money so that a water polo player whose dad is a hedge fund manager can get a free ride at USC? I don't like football. Why does football have to
subsidizing, you're saying?
Subsidizing all the sports. Like, why was that always been a thing? I think that's totally unfair. I say let football be its own business, and NCAA should have nothing to do with it. Free market, ... And I think I actually have a good point with that.
Well, it's actually better now then, because that polo player could get NIL money, can get money from the collective that doesn't take from the $20 million that's allotted as by the athletic department.
The collectives are not raising money for water polo players. They're raising money for revenue sports, football and basketball.
But like, you don't think that like the Cavanagh twins, for example, you don't think the collective, like Miami's collective, definitely was involved with that.
And what I think what you're forgetting of is there's also people who are USC water polo alums who are going to want to pay kids to come play water polo at USC. So there are people who are specific donors that are not giving money to football or basketball. They give it to the sport that they came from, or the sport, or they want to maybe be helpful, and they go, football's got enough, let me give to whatever. So those people do exist as well.
I do think football pays for a lot of other programs.
No, of course it does. But there are still people who want to help individual sports.
Like earmark things.
Right,
for
exactly.
certain sports.
This money is for that. And it's not just here's $10, spend it how you want.
Wait, I have to go back to one thing, and this is out of ignorance. Why would a collective pay the Cavanagh twins for what?
Go to Miami.
The marketing for the school that the Cavanagh twins are at
But
Miami.
They're already making $5 million a year from AT&T and everybody else. Like, the collective doesn't need to pay the Cavanagh twins. I think they're making tons of legit marketing deals.
Right, but then they're matching now. Okay, now I'm getting this marketing money. All right, who wants my services and the attention and the followers and things I bring to your school. Forget about just a basketball program.
It's about
Like,
keeping the
right,
Cavaliers
so-
in Miami.
Yeah.
As I understand it, like a lot of the collectives are organized around the football team. You think what collective is paying them?
I don't
There's a
think
collective on the
would
basketball, Miami women's basketball team?
I would be stunned if Miami's collective was not involved. I mean, I followed the Miami school a lot closely because of how much I love the football team. It feels like it's the Miami football team and them. Like, that's the school.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the football team and also like the Cavalier twins are here, guys. Like, they definitely don't shy away from that being a big part of the school's brand. I don't know. I think this was their last year, so they might have moved on. But like, that's a big part of that. I would be stunned if they weren't. If you could be right, maybe they didn't, but
Why would
Miami
they?
certainly
But
doesn't. They don't shy away from promoting those two girls.
I'm
nor should they.
I'm with Perloff. I'm sure 99.999% of it is for football.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, whatever
we're
your
not
number one
naive
sport
about
is.
that. We
Yeah,
understand.
and I don't think the whole basketball roster is getting, like Miami's women's basketball roster, they're not paying for everybody. I think there are a select few. I'm sure USC's collective has something to do with Juju. I can't
Right.
imagine they
Well,
just-
she's might be an
And
exception.
AZ Fudd's getting money from UConn. I got like that. It depends on the school.
But it's funny. I always think of collectives and mostly around the football teams.
I think you're right.
Right.
Absolutely.
But there is-
no one's challenging you on that.
Yeah, but there's people and money for the other sports, and some schools that don't play football, then it's about basketball.
Yeah, but like the Cavalier twins are making all this money elsewhere. That's where the women's. I think it's real marketing, marketing.
Yeah, but
like what
you
it's
want them
supposed
to
be.
come to Miami
Yeah.
and make people come to the games to watch them play.
Yeah, there's still recruiting happening.
Right.
What else you got, folks?
What else we got? Oh, the only thing loopier than our Margaret these days might be this Phillies Red Sox series.
Here comes Harper. He's going to try to steal home the throw, and he is.
I think he called a balk.
I think he did call a balk.
Get
Wait
outta
a
here.
minute.
Tom McCarthy, John Crook, NBC Sports Philadelphia, the day after the Phillies won on bases loaded catcher's interference in the 10th inning. Bryce Harper scored the second run of their first inning on basically the same call. This time, Harper was trying to steal home, as you heard. Boston catcher Carlos Narvaez stepped in front of home plate to catch the pitch and try to tag Harper. He's not allowed to do that. That's catcher's interference and a balk. So Harper scores safely. The other base runners advance, and the batter was given first base.
This series is so inebriated. It's awesome.
It's things that you drink out of a puke cup.
I think it's breaking my brain.
You sure it's not the puke?
This poor catcher, just like in the middle of everything for Boston, just mistake after mistake. He's got to be like, I can't buy a win right now.
Yeah, that was I almost felt bad beating the Red Sox last
You
night.
didn't. The Phillies won the
because-
game 4-1.
because then Devers goes out and wins in San Francisco. I've been rooting for Boston to just run the table and be awesome without Devers. I don't know why. I'm big into that revenge plot. But the Phillies, the Phillies, by the way, look terrible in this series, and they're winning like 3-1. Like I don't know.
You want to know why you should not love this if you're a Phillies fan is because this is karma that could come around. So, like, you win off of a catcher's interference and then basically off another catcher's interference and a balk. At some point, the baseball gods are going to come back on it. Everything evens out, I think, when it comes to this
totally.
And I'm hoping that is this weekend when the Philadelphia Phillies come to the Bronx and play my New York Yankees. Oh, yeah. I'll be there on Sunday, Pearl, so
Yeah, who you going
It's
with,
on,
Manny?
baby.
Who from here is going with you?
I'm going with my boy Chuck.
Oh, okay.
Going with my boy Chuck.
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 Chuck. Love you. Shout out, Chuck.
I do love Chuck.
We will get to Rafael Devers. Thank you, Bogish, because you're right.
They don't call me Championship Chuck.
Andrew Perloff has taken up for the Boston Red Sox faithful when it comes to Red Sox v. Rafael Devers.
V. Devers, not the Yankees. I could care less about the Red Sox Yankees. Does that help, Manny?
No.
888-710-4ISN.
Down the Red Sox.
We have more sports nicknames for you as well. It's M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining.
Manny woke up feeling 10 feet tall. Birthday boy, yeah, he's got it all. Put on his crown, it's a special day. Hit up Jay like, bro, we're on our way. Out in Nashville, music in the air. Boots on the ground, confetti in his hair. But where they headed, not a country show. Dave and Buster's, baby, time to go. Not as Manny's birthday, turning up the sound. Jay's got token shots going round. Gilligan's girls just crashed.
One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff, so glad to have you on this very busy Wednesday. We've started a new segment today called One Big Quarterback Question. It's innovative. We are asking one big question about each NFL quarterback room as we lead up to the season, and we have timed this out, so we will start today and end the day when the season kicks off, which will be the Eagles against the Cowboys. We started with those reigning Super Bowl champion Eagles, and the question is Jalen Hurts a top 10 quarterback? Now, Cam Newton really got this topic even going, Pearl, because he said that Jalen Hurts is not a top 10 quarterback. Yeah. And Cam, to be fair, has been pretty critical of any quarterback he doesn't see as being the system. Like, if you are playing within the system, you aren't the system like Cam Newton was in Carolina. He really holds those quarterbacks to a high standard. Do you notice that?
I hadn't noticed it, but that makes sense. Now, the thing about Cam was he was so mobile that he defied the system, which is funny because Hurts has been pretty mobile at certain times too. Actually, it's funny. Last year, Purdy was running around like crazy, and he was in the ultimate system, and then he didn't even run the plays. He's just like every play broke down, and he scrambled everywhere, and that didn't really work.
It didn't go well.
But you know what, though? When Cam was at his best, Carolina tailored their system to him. So I'm not sure that's totally accurate. If that's the case, then is Lamar Jackson far and away the best quarterback because he's sort of system-proof because he's such a great runner?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
right,
also why
Josh
Josh Allen
there.
gets a lot of credit too, because, and I think where Cam got a lot of credit, or maybe Cam even feels like, man, Jalen Hurts, look at everything around him. You have this amazing offensive line. You have Saquon Barkley. You have two of the highest paid receivers in the league in A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. You have fantastic tight end. You've got all these things. You got this tush push. You got this unstoppable play that nobody can wrap their brain around. Meanwhile, Cam Newton had, Jonathan Stewart and Jericho Cotchery and Corey Brown. Like, he is going to the Super Bowl with Fozzie Whitaker,
That was a pretty good team.
And Greg Olsen,
Yeah.
Of course they were a good team. Ted
That
Ginn
team was
Jr., but
good,
not
yeah.
anywhere close to the talent, top to bottom on offense that Jalen Hurts has. Let's go to...
I mean, that team was elite, though. But that 1 year, and then their O-line got banged up. That was what happened, which could happen to Hurts, too, by the way.
Let's go to Nate. He's in Iowa. Good morning, Nate.
Good morning, guys. How you doing this morning? Thanks for taking my call this morning. And Maggie, I think you just touched on what I was going to lead into here. It takes a well-built team to make an elite quarterback. I mean, I'm even going to go back even a little bit further. Earlier in the segment, you guys talked about Troy Aikman versus Brett Favre. I'm going to say far and away, Troy Aikman had a better team around him for the years, and I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm just coming out and saying that Troy had a better team around him because not only did he have Emmett, but he also had Michael Irvin and that offensive line over the years that was great. Green Bay had two all-pro quarterbacks over a span of 30 years and could only win 2 Super Bowls with those two quarterbacks. Those franchises, back when Dallas, even today with the Chiefs are a well-ran organization. Mm-hmm. Yes, you lucked into Patrick Mahomes 11th in the draft, but it still takes a well-ran organization to put a quarterback in that situation. Now you move to Jalen Hurts. He was drafted in the second round when the Eagles already had a first-round quarterback in Carson Wentz that was injured. Doug Peterson brought him in because they liked what he could do. They liked what they saw in him. And then Howie Roseman, if you want to say it or not, he's one of the best GMs in the league. He's brought that team around him. They've built the offensive and the O-line,
right.
D-line. They fleeced the Giants to get Saquon Barkley, which on the flip side of that, the Giants are one of the worst-ran organizations in the league. And that's the reason why they're always in the tank year in and year out. And then ultimately you go out, you fleece the Titans for A.J. Brown.
And so, Nate, your point is that you can be a great quarterback. You need a great general manager to build the team around you, is what you're saying.
Exactly. I mean, look at some of the number one picks that have come in the league over the last 10 years. Everyone's like, oh, this is the next great thing. This is the next great thing.
No.
And they don't work.
We're going to be talking about Caleb Williams. Thank you, Nate, for the call. I think what we were talking about was more about a caller called in to say it's only about winning when it comes to the quarterback position. Right, winning Super Bowls. And I said, okay, in that case, do you think Eli Manning was a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers? So I get it. It is about winning, but
Eli Manning was barely above 500, where Aaron Rodgers won 80% of his games. So Aaron Rodgers won a lot of the regular season. It does kind of obscure the argument. But I think that we're having a full-on system quarterback argument, aren't we?
This is your wheelhouse. You invented this.
Let's get real here. If Patrick Mahomes wasn't linked with Andy Reid, does Patrick Mahomes' career unfold the same way? Probably not. I mean, you can't put Patrick Mahomes on any team and expect him to do what he did with Andy Reid. I mean, this has been a great match.
This is where I disagree with you. I think that if Patrick Mahomes was on the Bills, I would have a Super Bowl title by now. I do. And I love Josh Allen. I hope he gets one. Maybe he'll have one also. But I don't think that Patrick Mahomes had to be with Andy Reid to be the guy he is today.
Okay, yeah, I disagree with that. I think and you go through history. I mean, every great quarterback. Honestly, Peyton Manning is a guy who people thought invented his system, but he got hooked up with Tom Moore, I believe his name was, his offensive coordinator, who had massive success before him. It's a team sport, even at quarterback. Like, there's always a support group. There's always the right circumstance. Tom Brady definitely would not have been Tom Brady if he'd been drafted somewhere else.
Okay, but Tom Brady is not Patrick Mahomes in terms of, like, Brady had certain other qualities that made him a champion. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes. We already have people out there who think he's more talented than Tom Brady.
Definitely.
His skill set.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Right. Wouldn't that make up? Like, Tom Brady did have to go to a great system. Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, these guys are so talented they could have won other places.
Definitely. And Aaron Rodgers did win one Super Bowl, but Patrick Mahomes would probably be closer to Aaron Rodgers than Tom Brady if he had gone to another team. Probably like a one Super Bowl guy.
Yeah, I don't see it that way.
You think he would have won 3?
I do. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Okay, so we have more of that for you. You want to weigh in on Jalen Hurts being an elite quarterback? You're welcome to do so. We're also asking one big question about college football today. What is it? We'll find out next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Ryan Day, Big Ten Media Days, trying to defend the Big Ten. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Not that the Big Ten needs defending, Pearl. They've had the last two national champions, him, Michigan the year before that, their biggest rival. But trying to defend that the Big Ten is just as deep as the SEC or, top to bottom, that the Big Ten is just as good of a conference.
Yeah. Okay. It's funny. Ryan Day is the one guy who probably could say this because they just kicked everyone's butt in the 12-team playoff.
It's a good time to say
spot.
it. Yeah.
But,
fair.
I mean, I don't know why the Big Ten is doing this. They should just partner with the SEC and say, we're the Big Ten SEC. The SEC is also saber-rattling, but they feel like they're fine partnering with the Big Ten. I don't know why the Big Ten is sort of positioning themselves as the little brother in this situation.
I don't think they are. They?
Well, you just said Ryan Day is defending the Big Ten.
I don't think they're seeing themselves as a little brother because the bigger thing that's happening is this sort of fight over how are we going to determine the college football champion moving forward.
Right, and they want to go 4-4-2-2 because they're afraid that if they don't have 4 automatic bids, which means 4 for SEC, automatic bids in the playoff, that is, 4 for the Big Ten, 2 for ACC, and 2 for Big 12. It sounds like they're afraid if we don't have 4 automatic bids, we won't get 4 teams in which makes them the little brother in this situation because they're afraid Big Brother SEC is going to take all those spots.
I think maybe they're worried about what he would say, because he said it yesterday, is they don't think it's fair to leave so much up to the committee, I think, because the Big Ten plays 9 conference games and the SEC is playing 8 conference games. So they would say, listen, we are, we have the more robust, sort of conference schedules, and we don't want to get locked out of a spot because maybe somebody has a loss, and maybe it doesn't look as good, the strength of schedule, because teams are beating up on themselves a little bit more. I don't know.
Well, those two things are a bit contradictory. I think, I think reality is, though, he knows that the perception of the SEC is nationally, I think, is still, and based on history, maybe more than reality, is stronger. And he knows that. And by the way, Ohio State's always going to get it. The committee loves Ohio State, which is the irony of this. In 2014, they put him in over my Baylor Bears and TCU Horned Frogs, and they put him in this year, no doubt, even though they lost to Michigan. So Ohio State will be fine. But I still think the reality is, it doesn't matter. I don't care in the NIL era. You can't really look at the Big Ten and the SEC and say they're the same right now. SEC, just look at the quarterbacks. There's so many more stars in the Big Ten. Big Ten, Ohio State's the best team, arguably, or Penn State. Who's the quarterback of Ohio State? I was just reading that it's not even a sure thing to be Julian Sayin.
Right. Well, that's actually one of the interesting things about Ohio State. They have this big quarterback battle that's going on, and they did not bring a quarterback to the Big Ten media days. So not one person is like representing the team at the league's biggest media function. And that's what is making this interesting. Doesn't mean people don't think Ohio State's not going to be a good team, though, no matter who's quarterback.
Yeah, of course. But I just think the SEC, you just look at some of the contenders right now and like, whoa, they're kind of stacked. Ohio State has arguably the best player, but generally the SEC goes pretty deep, in my opinion.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. And the best player you're talking about that Ohio State has in the country
is, of course, Jeremiah Smith.
Okay, so Jeremiah Smith is the wide receiver. Let's get to our college football superlative from today. We're asking you who is going to have the best sophomore season. Who will be the best sophomore? Do you think it's automatically Jeremiah Smith, or is there someone else who you think will improve so much they will get themselves into that realm? Like Ryan Williams.
It's to the point when we discussed having this topic, I said, are we taking Jeremiah Smith out because it's so obvious it's going to be him that I don't even think you could have this conversation in any realistic way. So, yes, Jeremiah Smith for sure. He could be the number one wide receiver on at least 15 NFL teams today.
Wow.
He is, and I have no doubt about that.
Did you say the same thing about Marvin Harrison Jr.?
He is definitely better than Marvin Harrison.
I'm just saying, did you say that, though, about Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Not as a sophomore, no. Did Marvin Harrison even start by then?
I think that's what a lot of people said about Marvin Harrison Jr. is that he was going to, and he got taken 4th overall in the draft because of that. Here's my question, though, about Jeremiah Smith. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not playing devil's advocate. He's amazing. He's freaking awesome. We all know that. But is the pack going to catch up to him at all? Like, is he going to keep getting better, or did he just start off with such gangbusters? He's so talented, but does he have more to grow, or is this sort of his ceiling? I have no idea. We're going to find out.
I mean, if that's his ceiling, that's fine. He was the best player. I mean, you saw what happened when Notre Dame finally let up and did not double team him. He burned them immediately in the national title game, and the game over.
So you think he's going to win the Heisman this year?
No, probably not.
Well, why not? Wide receivers win the Heisman.
Because the wide receiver, he could, but the best player doesn't always win the Heisman. I mean, just because he's the best, it's just hard. I'm not sure they put up the numbers. I don't know who his quarterback is. I feel like the Heisman has a different guideline. I don't know. I can't exactly explain that, but one thing, he's already established last year, so he might not have the improvement you need. He doesn't need it. It just feels like the Heisman likes the news story. I would not put my money on him, no. Would you? I mean, he's going to be amazing.
But you're making this case that he'd be better. He'd be than a wide receiver 1 on 15 NFL teams when you're that far and away. Who's the last person, even as a position player, who was that amazing who didn't get the Heisman?
Oh, I mean, lots of players. I'm sure. I don't remember.
Because Devontae Smith won the Heisman. Like, they will give it to a running back. Derrick Henry won the Heisman.
You mean just the skill position players? I'm sure like Orlando Pace or somebody was already like.
I'm talking about the skill position. I think it's very hard for
Devontae Smith
defensive guys.
We're talking a sophomore. It's like Devontae Smith took forever to even get into the starting lineup. I mean, he was at Alabama. Remember, he was pinned behind all those other superstars. No, I don't think. Devontae Smith kind of had a huge leap, right? So that's why he got it. You ever heard of the Heisman amendments? Like, there's a certain set of rules like that you need to follow to get the Heisman. You can't peak too early because then you get used to it. Jeremiah Smith is peaking now. I mean, where is he in odds? He's like 4th, right? He's the only non-quarterback on that entire list. But I don't think we're not talking about the Heisman. We're talking about the best player. Cam Ward wasn't in the Heisman mix, and he was no doubt number 1 pick, right?
Yeah, but was he the best player, or did the Tennessee Titans just need a quarterback really badly?
Well, I mean, he would have gone number 1, I think, in any draft. I mean,
yeah, but that's also just because who was picking number 1? Because it's not true. He wouldn't have gone number 1 if the Ravens had the first pick. It was just so happened to be a very quarterback needy team.
I think
was
someone
at the top.
Traded into that spot to get him. He was going to go number 1, in my opinion. But I think there's an analogy there. Like Cam Ward didn't even really. I know he was in New York, right? But nobody thought he was going to win the Heisman. Just because he's the best player doesn't mean he won't win the Heisman. Like, again, you have to be in the right situation. You have to get the right numbers.
I mean, you just had Travis Hunter win I know it was It was different because he was playing both ways. It was unique, novel, the whole deal. But essentially, a wide receiver 1.
Yeah, I mean, Jada Daniels won, and nobody thought he was going to go ahead of Caleb Williams. That was, I guess, we actually
They both won Heismans.
We recently had a report, right? But generally, I don't think being the number one pick is not always a Heisman. Anyway, I'm not sure the question is who's the best sophomore. It's obviously him, regardless of who wins a Heisman. Ryan Williams, by the way, is that who you're going to go with?
I was not going to go with him, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, he was good, but the guy weighs like 150 pounds, and you saw him fade in front of your eyes as the season went on. Like, teams figured him out and just got physical, and his production went down. So I love Ryan Williams. He's fantastic. He's brilliant, but he is not Jeremiah Smith.
If I was going to pick who I think is going to have the best sophomore season, it's somebody who may end up winning the Heisman a little easier, maybe because he's a quarterback, but I think it's Lenore Sellers. I think that would be, I picked him a bit over Dylan Raiola, who I also thought about for this superlative, best sophomore season. I think you look at not just the projection of Sellers, DJ Lagway, I guess, could have been also in this conversation, no doubt. People are very excited about him. I'm going to go with Sellers because I think that it's going to be that jump that everyone is looking for. People already think DJ Lagway's amazing, right? People already call Dylan Raiola Little Mahomes, right? He's already got the haircut and everything that was like Patrick Mahomes. I think Sellers, and not in South Carolina, and maybe not with the SEC most faithful, but still has a mystery about him that is going to be unveiled. And I think he's going to be a lot better this year. So I'm going to go with Lenore Sellers is going to be the guy who gets the most sophomore attention.
I would say... Yeah, I like that pick, but he's getting a lot of attention. He's not going to come out of nowhere.
But not like DJ Lagway. I feel like Lagway's getting a little bit more. Maybe because Florida's history as a football program is a little bit richer than South Carolina.
Lagway was a number one overall recruit kind of guy,
right?
Whereas Sellers is not. Yeah, no, listen, it's a great choice, and I'm sure the Heisman odds reflect that too. Who's higher? I bet you Sellers is above Jeremiah, right?
I would imagine just by virtue of the position.
But I think Jeremiah is like fourth, so. But who's honestly, if you could draft one, I heard a draft expert the other day say Jeremiah Smith will be in the draft next year, could go ahead of Arch and Lagway. Like, he is the freakiest freak, and he's better. I love Marvin Harrison. Thought he was a sick recruit and sick. Jeremiah Smith's better in every way. And Marvin Harrison, where there's nothing like, I think you're underselling how special this guy is. He is the most unique wide receiver. He's like fully developed Calvin Johnson as a true sophomore. He's unbelievable.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Let's get to our sports nicknames.
64 nicknames were entered, but only one will win. It's Maggie and Perloff's search for the greatest nickname in sports.
All right, we brought you the Sweet 16 offerings for hoops and handles last hour. So that's Air Jordan against Black Mamba, Pistol Pete against Magic. Let's now go to the Legends and Legacy region, where we are also into the Sweet 16. And the number one seed in this region, Wayne Gretzky, the Great One, goes up against the 12th seed, the Galloping Ghost, Red Grange.
Please give it up for the White Tornado, the Maine Wayne, the Manada from Canada, the Great One himself, Wayne Gretzky!
Forgive me,
Candy
but...
bar, cigarettes, a fountain pen, a doll. He was in movies. It doesn't hurt to have a good nickname. And the Galloping Ghost has to be one of the best nicknames any football player has ever had. He was so big that even 50 years after he last carried the ball, his name still resounded in the sports world.
Okay, so you had the Great One, you had the Galloping Ghost, and sorry I jumped on it. I was just thinking about something. So that was a Stephen Colbert calling him the White Tornado, and did Colbert do that for all of his guests? Because maybe the show would still be on the air. That was really funny.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Ooh,
Too soon, Maggie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
By the way, I like the Maine Wayne. I've never heard of that. It's a little close to something else, though.
What?
Forget it. Move on.
I missed it. I can't. I'm trying to think of all the rhymes, and I'm not finding it.
Something tawdry?
Tell me in the break.
Yeah, something, I guess, a little tawdry. I can't decide. When a man has to go to the bathroom, they say, I have to...
What? You have to Maine Wayne it? I have no idea what you're saying.
You have to drain.
Oh.
You know that expression, right?
Oh, yeah. I just did it like twice in the last hour.
Thank you, Manny. I'm sure America's So thrilled they just learned that.
I'm sorry about that, America.
You drain the main Wayne.
I've never heard that before.
You've never heard that expression?
No.
Oh.
That's fine.
I got to go to the bathroom. I have to.
Drain the main Wayne? Never heard of it.
Except not Wayne.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There it is.
I don't even know if this is
I'm a
R-rated.
little
This is like for fifth graders. By the way.
It's over the air, no dump. So
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if that is getting dumped. That's a pretty.
We're Disney Radio if that's getting dumped. Okay, let's continue on the legends and legacy. The third seed in this region is the Great Bambino.
Is the curse of the Bambino over? Ooh, what is that? What is that? Sounds like a scary ghost. Yes, I'm scared, Tina. It's a terrifying ghost.
What are you talking about, lady? I cursed the hell out of them good-for-nothing Red Sox. What about that game, that 19-8 game? Yeah, I tried to mess up Schilling's ankle. Blood coming out of his sock and everything. Hey, you know what? I also gave Johnny Damon that lady's haircut.
That was Horatio Sands playing the ghost of the Great Bambino on SNL, if you were a little confused. So that's the third seed, the Great Bambino, who faces off against the second seed, the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays.
Willie would go around saying hey a lot. Willie was also terrible with names, so he would always say, instead of addressing someone by his or her name, he would just say, hey you, or hey, how you doing? So a sports writer at the time called him the Say Hey Kid. Literally, he did say hey, and he was a kid.
There you go.
So there it is. The 1 seed, the Great One, Wayne Gretzky against the 12 seed, the Galloping Ghost, and the Great Bambino against the Say Hey Kid. And the voting is now open in that region for the Sweet 16.
Iconic name. The old school baseball. Now, this is basically a battle of old school versus new school. Galloping Ghost. I can't wait. I still like the 80s, 90s NBA. It's going to win. Air Jordan. Who else is alive in the 80s,
Black
90s?
Mamba.
Magic.
Pistol Pete and Magic.
Yeah, I feel like basketball deserves to win this whole thing. Sorry, baseball. Say Hey Kid. That's a great story. I did not know that. But
so
basketball.
There are more basketball names. Should I go through those quickly, EJ? Because we've got results. Give me a thumbs up. Should we do the results for the Flash and Fun region while we're here? All right, cool. I'm getting thumbs up, so let's do it. This is fascinating. The only region, Pearl, where the number 1 seed bit the bullet.
Whoa.
Big Papi goes home.
Big Dominican lunch with Big Papi.
William the Fridge Perry moves on. 60% of the vote.
That one registered 3.8. Another Super Bowl record, the first refrigerator to score.
So the Fridge took out Big Papi, William Refrigerator Perry.
What if the Fridge went against Sweetness, recreating the controversy from the 1985 Super Bowl where Fridge got a touchdown and Ditka did not give any red zone carries to Walter Payton? That would be like history repeating itself, Maggie.
Maybe we could finally just settle the score, you know?
Oh, man. Our friend Jared Payton, Walter's son, would not be happy if Sweetness lost to the Fridge.
Let's move on in the Flash and Fun region where we have another upset. The 12th seed continues. That'd be Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch.
Hennessy.
Beast Mode took out Shaq Diesel.
No, it says I'm going to knock your ass out.
And it wasn't close, 63% to 37%. We're talking nicknames here. Beast Mode, that much better than the Diesel?
Yeah, I think Shaq was a victim of having too many nicknames.
He nicknamed himself a lot of these.
Yeah, half of them self-proclaimed. When you have 14 nicknames and you can rattle them off and then rap about them, I think you're hurting yourself.
You know, he and Kobe had such a fraught relationship, but they both gave themselves a lot of nicknames. So
Also,
they have that in common.
Beast Mode is awesome.
And it moves on. So it will face off against the Fridge in the Sweet 16. Pearl, you'll be happy to know that Dr. J has made it through to the Sweet 16.
Dr. J. Irving and the Virginia Squires.
And Dr. J took out someone near and dear to the show. We talk about him almost every day. Primetime Deion
Katie's
Sanders.
off the chain.
Dr. J moves on. Primetime goes home in our
What about
nickname
Shiloh?
bracket. What about Shiloh? The 10 seed in this region goes home. The human highlight film. Dominique Wilkins Pearl
okay.
just could not withstand the run by the round mound of rebound Charles Barkley.
But they do have some big old women.
Who goes on to the Sweet 16. So there you go. The Flash and Fun region. The next matchups will be the Fridge against Beast Mode and Dr. J against the round mound of rebound.
Gosh.
Philly v. Philly right there.
I got to tell you, they're lower seeds, but number 9 seed Fridge against number 12 seed Beast Mode. I'm fascinated who comes out of that battle.
Cinderella story. So there you go. You can go vote for all the Maggie and Perloff nickname regions, and they are now live. Let's take a quick break. We see you guys on the phones. You want to talk about another Philadelphia legend. That'd be Jalen Hurts. We're asking, is he an elite quarterback? Do that next.
All right, y'all. We'll be back in 10. We got to drain the main thing, and stick around.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Remember Bobo Brazil, I grew out of wrestling. I was 12 or 13, I stopped watching TV. I moved out of the house, we sold the TV. I think I went to school and watched less wrestling. Bob Custer in Nevada. 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 Bob Custer in Nevada.
Woke up late on Ocean Drive. Sun was shining, felt alive. Hit the pier with my shades real low, but the sea was.
You were more than just a name in the crowd. You were the moment that made us proud. The voice that cut through all the noise, the calm, the chaos, the steady voice. You showed up when no one came, lit the match, then took the blame. And though time tries to wash it clean, your shadow stays in every scene. We can't forget your love. The streets still whisper when we walk alone. Every corner's got a memory carved in stone. You're the chapter we keep rereading slow. We can't forget, we won't forget your love. It was a joke to fight the right, the deep down reason we. It was a Monday morning, the phones were still dead air, humming like time standing still. Mics were hot, but the chair sat bare, and Peter Bellotti was nowhere there. The rundown was tight, the clock was mean, but that board I booth stayed empty and clean. No call, no note, not even a sign, just silence on that broadcast line. Peter never showed, just faded away. Left the show hanging like a runaway. They gave him a shot, but he threw it aside. Now his boys at the board, just trying to ride. He's spotting breaks and running the flow, holding it down for a man you don't know. It's a damn shame how the story's told. Peter never showed. In Suffolk County, where the sprinklers whine, Bogus pulls up in a truck that says God likes threesomes on the side.
One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Daily. Do you believe that?
Dion.
You believe that?
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. How are we doing Daily Dion? It's Big Ten Media Days. Practice hasn't started. What has this guy gotten himself into now, Maggie?
Well, I can tell you, what is one of your favorite drops on this show that Manny plays?
Don't forget about Shiloh.
What about Shiloh?
Well, Dion has not forgotten about Shiloh. The Colorado head coach, according to Rick Stroud, who covers the Bucs, is at practice with the Tampa Bay Bucs today, watching his son, safety Shiloh Sanders.
Okay.
And let's not forget Shiloh.
He did not forget about Shiloh.
I don't really have a big problem with that.
No, why would anyone have a problem with it? It's just, it's kind of, I wonder if Dion's going to go to Browns camp because Shiloh
that's the big one.
wasn't drafted, but Shador fell from what we thought was going to be a first-round pick, tumbled all the way down to the 5th round. We don't think that was purely football focused.
Don't forget, you know I had 2 sons, right?
You have 3, sir.
I think he should. First of all, I do think he will go to Cleveland, and that's going to be awesome. I think Cleveland's quarterback battle is going to be an all-consuming NFL hurricane that's going to eat up every headline, and Dion's going to be there. It's going to make it even better. Do you think don't you agree that he'll probably go?
Yeah, and by the way, I don't think that's necessarily a terrible thing, but it depends about the context. Like, what's going on in Browns training camp? Is he going to show up the day that, Shador, a day after Shador looks great or throws 2 picks, or the day after Kenny Pickett twists an ankle? A lot has to do with what's going on around the Browns when Dion decides to show up.
It feels almost so chaotic there, whatever this quarterback situation is. Like, can Dion do any more damage to the Browns right now? Like,
he never could.
The other teams didn't want to bring Dion into the building. That was the thought, the why Shador fell. The Browns have nothing to lose here because I don't feel like, what do they have to lose? They almost want to tank and get a quarterback next year anyway. It's such a chaotic situation.
And let's not forget Shiloh.
We will not forget about Shiloh.
Shiloh is going to be a human missile in that Tampa Bay. He's going to get a penalty on it because that's what he did at Colorado. He's going to get so many flags.
Yeah, if
he plays.
If you have to get that many flags, it means you don't belong.
Or you're like one of those. It used to be in the '90s. Just you could get an undrafted safety. Just like I'm going to lead with my helmet on every play.
Let's go to Derek, who's in Baltimore, wants to weigh in on this thing we're doing called One Big Quarterback Question. We're going to ask one a day leading up to the season. We started with the reigning Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles and asked if Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback. We didn't just come up with this question out of thin air, by the way. I know we're super creative and awesome, but Cam Newton is the one who first said it. What's up, Derek? How are you?
How you guys doing? I get Cam said it, but Maggie, I'm disappointed in you big time. Listen, okay, for one, I'm a Niners fan. I have no dog in the fight. Jalen Hurts is not top 10. He's top 5. He's not even 5th. He's 4th. Listen, you cannot blame him for his GM and his coach doing what they are supposed to do. As a GM and coach, you're supposed to put great coaches around your quarterback, a defense around your running quarterback, great players offensively.
Yeah.
For Cam to say that is, for one, Cam made no sense. How can you say he's a great quarterback, but you don't know where to rank him? You rank him amongst the great quarterbacks.
Well, but Derek, I think where Cam feels like he has a leg to stand on is when he looks at the team that was around him in Carolina. that roster offensively was not, or defensively, frankly, was not close to what the Philadelphia Eagles are putting on the field. So
that's not
right. So
that's
Cam had to
on
do
Cam.
a lot more. The team was more reliant just on him. So he has this whole thing about, are you part of the system or are you the system? Cam was the system.
Well then blame your front office. Every
sure
quarterback every quarterback in the NFL would love to have what Jalen Hurts has, but that does not take away from Jalen Hurts and what he has done. The man has been to 2 Super Bowls, outplayed Mahomes in both. If it wasn't for that fumble 6 in the first one, he might have won that one. But what we're not going to do is sit here and act like and play this what-if game, because I heard you say earlier, what if Hurts was on this? We could play that all day. Guess what? What if Chicago didn't draft Trubisky and they drafted Mahomes? Will we be talking about Mahomes as a Super Bowl winning quarterback? No. So
That's
we could
true.
do the what-if. We could do the what-if all day. The bottom line is,
Derek,
he has the great.
You're right, and he has elevated himself in the postseason. There's just it's obviously touches a nerve here because it's not so easy cut and dry when it comes to Jalen Hurts. Because you could maybe do the same thing if Jalen Hurts was on the Chicago Bears or if Patrick Mahomes, would they be winning Super Bowls? But who would you still see Mahomes' greatness? I think you would.
Wow, that C on your helmet can gut pretty much. It's like kryptonite to quarterback
Derek,
Superman.
thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're making great points. I understand, but I'm not trying to take anything away from Jalen Hurts' accomplishments. What I'm asking is, if he didn't have such a great team around him, if the tush push was eliminated, if he didn't have some of the advantages, would you still think of him as elite? If I put Josh Allen on the Bears, if I put Patrick Mahomes on the Browns, I'm still seeing their greatness. So it's Hurts, Purdy, Jared Goff, these guys who are
How do you know that?
Amazing. Do you think Jared Goff would be great on the Browns? Purdy? Like, these guys had to go to specific. I know
I'm just
Goff
saying,
was the number one
but
overall
also
pick.
too, you said you knew Josh Allen would be super anywhere. I mean, Josh Allen's trajectory was not so obvious either. Like, I think I think everybody needs the right system around them, and Josh Allen luckily he could have gone the other way too. I mean, it was dicey that first year. I remember that.
Yeah, but
then he got some good coaches in there, and things sort of evened out. I think you're
he
overestimating.
got better. He got better.
He got better, but you have to admit, like, the things around him got better too.
If it was just his coaches, then why hasn't Brian Daboll? Why hasn't he turned?
He got the playoffs with Dan Jones.
And what? Okay, got to the playoffs with Dan Jones. And where's Dan Jones today?
No,
not on the team.
I just think that it's an oversimplification to say that quarterback talent alone is going to win all this. You need the right coach, you need the right system, you need a marriage. It's very much a team sport. And by the way, can I just defend? Like, we're killing the team around Cam. That team in 2015 was loaded. I'm looking at their defense, and they were loaded.
Just like your Eagles. Well, look at the offense.
But look at the defense. They had, I hear you, but they were also, remember, they were 15-1. That was a great team. They had K'Wan Short, Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly, Josh Norman in his peak. They had a lot of guys. Like, it was not a bad team. And also Cam, the reason that Cam did everything is because Cam wouldn't hand the ball off in the red zone. He's like, I'm going to have every 3-yard touchdown run. Sorry, Jonathan Stewart, you don't get any. That's
the offense here.
Yeah.
You want to put, Luke Kuechly, fine.
No, definitely the offense.
Greg Olsen was the tight end. I'm sorry, Greg Olsen. Yeah. Greg Olsen, here's your leading receivers. Greg Olsen, your tight end, was your leading receiver. Yeah. Okay. With 1,100 yards. Then next after that was Ted Ginn Jr.
Right.
With 739 yards.
Yeah.
Jericho Cotchery.
Yeah.
Corey Brown, Devin Funchess.
Love Devin Funchess. But partly because Cam Newton did not like to throw to receivers, too. That's not, I mean, they weren't great. I'm not saying that Ted Ginn Jr. was Marvin Harrison Jr., but Marvin Harrison. But generally, though, whatever. Like Cam, like the Panthers had a great quarterback in Cam, and they started to build the system around him. Like, it's not just talent. And when Cam maybe got there in 2011, they're like, let's build a great run team and a great defensive team around Cam Newton. It's a team sport. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Cam wasn't great, but this thing about Jalen, I get what he's talking about. He won 2 playoff games where he only threw for 130 yards. Cam's argument, of course, makes sense, but come on, you were totally underestimating what Jalen Hurts can do. If Jalen Hurts wanted to throw for 5,000 yards, he could, Maggie. I'm telling you right now, they just don't want to do that in Philly.
Which is funny because they've got these 2 really highly paid receivers, and they said that the passing game is broken. But if he can do all these amazing things, why don't they do it?
Because they saw the formula. Same with Kansas City. They saw the formula. Slow the game down, and it takes pressure off our defense, so our pass rushers are going to be just shot out of a cannon when they get on the field. What changed this year with Philly? It was Saquon.
Yeah.
Although
they got to a Super Bowl with
isn't that kind of an
his backup.
indictment on Jalen, though? That they were like, sorry, even though you have these high-priced receivers, we need to get literally like the best running back in order to win. That says a lot about what they think about their passing game.
But, I mean, they barely paid anything for Saquon. He was available.
No, they paid him a lot.
And now they just paid him
How
again.
much did they pay him in the first? 12?
Yeah, but I mean, he was one of the highest-paid running backs in the NFL. That was the whole.
They just gave him $40 million, which is a lot
But
for a running back.
after he blew up, they really paid him. But
No, but they did. They went out and made that. And to be honest, I feel like the Chiefs, one of the reasons why they started to do this is because the receiver core started to lose some bodies, you know?
Well, I do think it's a good formula, obviously. And I think everyone's underestimating Jalen Hurts' legs. He only uses them now when he needs them, but that guy is an all-time running quarterback. He's fantastic with his leg. Early on, it was unbelievable to watch him escape people.
Let's get to Bogish's headlines. You're welcome to weigh
Maggie,
in.
I'm disappointed in you.
Oh, my gosh. That was the most disappointed anyone's ever been in me. How Derek in Baltimore said that.
Maggie, I'm disappointed.
Well, I love
there
that
was real disappointment
You
there.
actually preemptively tried to blame Cam.
Yeah, I caught that too.
Yeah, did you guys catch that? I'm
like, to be clear, Cam Newton's the one who started this.
Well, I love people like to throw you never played the game. How can you weigh in on this? Well, Cam Newton was MVP of the league, and he said it.
Maggie, I'm disappointed.
Don't hide behind the massive frame of Cam Newton.
I will hide behind that all day.
Derek's not falling for it.
What's up, Oak?
Guys, the Washington Commanders have now placed Terry McLaurin on the did not report list. The wideout did not check into training camp yesterday, still wanting a new deal instead of playing on the final year of his current one. McLaurin is fined $50,000 for each day missed.
He's apparently doing yoga in VA.
I was just going to say, a random Commander fan had him in his yoga class this morning. So unlike Trey Hendrickson, he is nearby. He can get to Commander's camp ASAP. Hendrickson is multiple states away from the Bengals. So maybe McLaurin's path to camp's a little quicker.
And also, you might have said this, I'm sorry, Hendrickson drove, right? He did a road trip like you and I were planning to do. He took his car out of camp in Cincinnati and drove to Jacksonville overnight. So halfway across the country.
That's a long drive.
I was going to say, the road trip you and I were planning to do is really rewriting how this went down when Bogish offered to drive with you to San Antonio and you said, no, thanks, I'm good.
A good point. I misremembered how that went down.
Right. And are we 4 years late on this drive? I mean, are you ever going to go on it with anybody?
Well, we had to wait for Greg.
Oh, I know where you're going here, Bo.
Don't blame Greg Popovich for this.
We did. Well, we had to first blame. We're not blaming Greg Popovich. He got sick, and we thought it'd be indelicate to then ask the Spurs if we could pull off this silly thing. And then Wemby got hurt, and that's the whole reason why we were going, is so that Perloff could apologize for calling him Wenbustyama.
No, there's a lot of pressure. I got a mean text from Nick in Texas, longtime show fan, saying, "When are you coming down, dude?"
Mm-hmm.
Wenbustyama? Yeah. Okay. I'm looking at some calendars and some paths. I mean, if Trey Hendrickson wants to come with me, but apparently he loves to drive.
Can I ask you a question? Now, I said I didn't want to go, and I still don't. But how about this? Can you and I drive together? You can drop me off at a Waffle House. I can start paying off that bet while you continue on to San Antonio, and I'll find my own way back. Probably.
How would you find your own way back?
I might want to walk. From central Pennsylvania or something.
Just walk off all those calories?
Mm-hmm.
No, because I don't want to miss the Waffle House thing.
Yeah,
I want to see that. I want to see you talking about your throw-up cup. You're going to need a whole bunch of those. These Yetis that you continue to use after you barfed in them. You're going to need a whole bunch of those.
The Waffle House waitress like, Maggie, I know that you just... I'm going to move this cup. Move it. No, we're not putting any more water in it.
You might get cut off from pancakes. Or waffles, whatever the heck you need to eat.
Yeah, at Waffle House.
Whatever, dog.
You get pancakes, too.
What was that?
You can get pancakes, I think.
Yeah, you see, why are you coming after me?
America's favorite head coach, Sean McDermott, just said he expects James Cook to practice today. The running back reported to camp on time yesterday, despite his desire for an extension.
Go Bills.
The best first baseman in the NL West made his debut last night.
Suero to the plate. Devers swings and a sharp ground ball base hit between first and second. Ramos to third. He runs through a stop sign. Acuna's throw is not in time.
Rafi Devers, 2 hits, that RBI in San Francisco's 9-0 win in Atlanta. First time he played first base for those Giants. The Twins outscored the Dodgers 10-7. Royce Lewis drove in 3 without a hit, and LA has now dropped 11 of its last 14. Logan Gilbert K 10 over 6 in the third. The Mariners snapped the Brewers' 11-game win streak, 1-0 in Seattle. Jacob deGrom K'd 9 over 6. The Rangers beat the A's 6-2, and the Guardians staying hot.
Jose Ramirez with a drive. Deep right field. Gone again.
Tom Hamilton, Guardians radio host Jose Ramirez, his 7th homer in 12 games. Cleveland topped Baltimore 6-3. They're 4-1 since the All-Star break. They've won 10 of 12 overall. The Las Vegas Aces had the first 3-game winning streak of their season, 87-72 winners over the Dream. Asia Wilson, 24 points, 12 boards, and 5 assists. And how about Venus Williams? Last night, her first official singles match since March of 2024, and she won it in straight sets in D.C. over 23-year-old Peyton Stearns. At 45 years old, Venus is the second oldest woman to win a tour-level singles match. A 47-year-old Martina Navratilova won at Wimbledon back in 2004. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Bogish. Coming up, see you guys on the phones. You still want to weigh in on Jalen Hurts? Let's do it at 888-710-4ISN. Also, you will not believe whose home you can rent on Airbnb.
Wow.
I'll tell you about that next, MNP.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
I teased it before we went into the break. Guess whose mansion is now listed on Airbnb, bro?
Who?
Somebody you love, and I love him too. Michael Air Jordan. You can now stay at Michael Jordan's mansion in Highland Park, Illinois. He sold it to somebody, obviously. It's not there anymore. Can I tell you some of the amenities?
Is it? Wait, let me just ask. Is this the one in the documentary with 23 on the outside on the gates?
Yes, the 23 on the gates.
Yeah.
Now, that's not, the photo of that's not in the listing. It's 7.39 acres, 7 bedrooms, 17 and a half bathrooms.
Wait. 7 bedrooms and 17 bathrooms? Jesus.
That's a lot of bathrooms, no?
Yeah, a little bit.
A movie theater, a gym, a cigar lounge, of course.
Yeah.
Pool tables, saltwater aquariums, also a swimming pool, a fishing pond stacked with bass and bluegill, a putting green, and a basketball court. You get the rent. You can rent the mansion. You have to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Oh.
And a liability waiver, and pay a $25,000 security deposit. You cannot host parties or events on the property, and a maximum of 12 guests can stay in the house. No pets allowed.
You could still have 5 bathrooms left over.
Everyone sleeps in their favorite tub. A minimum 7-night reservation is required, making the price of a stay at Jordan's old house $120,920 per week. Any takers?
That's all the conditions make it sound not as fun.
I just wonder, why would you need the non-disclosure agreement?
I guess
Jordan's not there.
So you can't do a lot of like Instagram tours of it. Like you can't. That probably means you're not allowed to do live video from there and put it out on the internet, which I think like a lot of people would want to do.
Yeah, don't you think that would help them rent out the house more often if you got a little taste from some of these influencers or something?
That's what I'm saying. This sounds no fun. These were like, why would anyone do this? So like, you can have the house, but you can't break anything. It's kind of like,
well, you don't want to break anything. It's someone else's home. You know, it's not Michael Jordan's home anymore. Someone named John Cooper bought it for $9.5 million.
Yeah, you're right. So what is the NDA about?
That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, is there some of Jordan's old stuff in there? No. And by the way, Michael Jordan, I don't think it was on the market for 12 years. Like, Jordan hasn't lived there in a long time.
I remember he was trying to sell that house.
I'm assuming he and his first wife may have had to split the proceeds. Yeah. I have no idea, but Michael Jordan's house, his old house, $120,920 per week.
So I'm very interested in this fishing pond. How big is it to have this many fish in it? And instead of a putting green, if I had enough room, I would build a a 3-hole golf course in my backyard. It's a fantasy of mine in the rich Andrew Perloff world.
I think you have something in common then with Patrick Mahomes. If I'm remembering right from the first edition of Quarterback, didn't he build like a golf course in his backyard?
Did he? Okay, I don't remember. I might have missed that one, but would that be a dream to not just have a putting green, but to actually play like a 200-yard hole? That'd be so cool. No pressure. You could play it whatever you wanted. You don't have to wait for anyone in front of you. I think that's... I mean, are you into any of that? A fishing pond? That'd be cool, too.
I think a pond is fun if you're rich. That's cool.
You know what the ultimate
Go
was?
flex.
Tony Stewart had a stream that ran through the indoor part of his house with fish.
What?
Yeah, in Indiana. I'm not joking.
That's cool.
I wish I wasn't poor.
That's amazing. So he had a water feature in his home? Like
It was like, it cut through right the middle, kind of like an indoor pool, but it was an actual stream, and there were fish in it, and you could go fishing from the living room. I believe.
What do you do in the winter? There's no way that it would be drafty in your home? Like, how does that work?
Could he fall?
Such a good question.
Could he fall in like Michael Scott in that one episode of The Office?
The koi pond?
Yeah.
Amazing episode where he follows the GPS right into the koi pond
We
or
gotta
whatever.
get Tony Stewart on the show to confirm this. But maybe this is just a fantasy I had. Like, yeah, to be able to fish and play golf, to have, I can't imagine. If you had enough acres, why not?
I want to read some poll results here, just really quickly, circling back to something we talked about earlier in the show. Who do you have more faith in this season, Pearl? I'm surprised at the results. We were giving you two teams, the Rams or the 49ers.
Ooh, I have no idea who won this.
The Rams by a lot, 69% to 31% right now. That you have more faith in the Rams than the 49ers this season.
I think the Rams are very, very interesting. I'll tell you why. They were the toughest team the Eagles faced last year in the playoffs, including the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, that was a hell of a game. If it wasn't snowing, I wonder if the Rams would actually win that game.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles were way up, and they let them come back. But, yeah, it's a valid question. And I think that defense is just going to take another step. McVay's a great coach. I just worry. We started the show off. I fear injuries in San Francisco.
See, I fear them in L.A., just specifically with Matthew Stafford, because what are the couple things you actually remember from that divisional round of the NFC playoffs last year? It was the snow, and then it was Matthew Stafford got drilled in that game a couple times, and he keeps getting up. But he's 37 years old.
All those Brady got drilled late in his career and kept coming back.
Brady protected himself way more than Stafford does.
You should look at some of the late career hits, including the concussion in the Super Bowl. Like, he got drilled. Because when you're old, you become a pocket quarterback. You got to stand in there.
Crazy.
By the way, I'm looking at the indoor stream at Tony Stewart's house.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Can I just, oh, wow.
He lives right next to a river, and he siphoned off part of it. And, water never freezes over, so.
Wait, what?
I mean, water is always running. Like, rivers always.
Right.
Rivers don't freeze over, right? They always have to have some current going, or you have a major problem.
Very cool.
Right. Like I'm terrible at this. At some point, underneath all the ice, the water has to be running. So I don't know. My point is, I love that you're like, well, what if it's too cold and the water doesn't?
Your point is that it's cool that he has this in his house.
Yeah.
Your point is also valid. What if you're hammered and you fall into your river?
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm looking at, man, he has some foliage protecting it, so
it can knock over that foliage easily. Was it a palm tree? No.
He kind of looks like he's a prospector, like he's searching for gold, like panning for gold in a river.
It says there's a 2-story waterfall in the house.
Wouldn't it be like
it's like a Bass
moist
Pro
in
Shop.
there? Yeah, but
it is a Bass Pro Shop. Wait, was he ever?
I don't know what Pro Shop. I don't know if I'm looking
at
at Tony Stewart's house or a Bass Pro Shop.
Did Tony Stewart at one point drive the 14 Bass Pro Shop's car?
You're Manny Tires. You tell us. Salt Bay.
Oh, he's got a bowling alley.
Oh, is that the ultimate rich person thing?
It's one of them, yeah. Come on. Now, I know you want a tennis
You're
court.
speechless.
Yeah, if Maggie and Perloff gets the money we deserve, we're all getting bowling alleys in the house.
Yes.
We each get our own alley. That'd be great. Before we let you go today, we got to bring you some amazing sound. Obviously, Ozzy Osbourne passed away yesterday. What a legend. He has one of the most memorable renditions of Take Me Out to the Ball Game that you're ever going to hear. This is Ozzy at a Cubs game. Take a listen.
1, 2, 3, and let's go out to the morning. Let's go out to the river. Take me in, we listen to. I don't remember what I have to do. And I run out of the garden. And 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
All right, he landed the plane.
Nailed it.
We got there.
Nailed it.
By the way, we were toying around with a show road trip to Wrigley.
Yeah.
That's what half of us would sound like by the time we got to the 7th inning if we were drinking so much we actually had to wear those adult diapers.
Maybe you, Maggie. I don't know, but I can control my alcohol.
Yeah, let's see. I challenge that.
Those drunk texts we get on the weekend says otherwise, Manny.
Yeah, I like the ones that come in around 3, 4 a.m.
Well, we got to keep in mind, Maggie said if the fan cam ever goes on her, she's not going to be caught in an affair, but she will immediately chug her beer.
That's right.
Which was talking big. And listen, I don't know if they have a fan cam at Wrigley, but that could be a scene.
I'm still down to chug that beer. I don't even need a jumbotron
And
for
to go
that.
full circle, you could throw up in your Yeti, then go home and wash it out and keep using it.
Gross.
Of all the things I never thought I'd live down, I guess that's one of them. The biggest one. Thank you, EJ Stewart. Thank you, Manny Rodriguez, Andrew Bogusch, Andrew Kaplan, Weedos Coffee Drinkers. You guys are amazing, even when you're mad at me. See you tomorrow.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining.